Alright, cool. You got the thing off there because it didn't let me do it for some silly reasons. Go ahead, put prediction up. Let's see who will win this. Blue for Russia. Simple as that. Of course, I accidentally fat-fingered the cancel button. I can't have nice things, can I? All right, there we go. This... Hold on. Some people are sending me multis at last second, so I'll go ahead and get those thrown on. I need to also add the command to the title. To that long list of things. I think the reason we have a low turnout today is because daylight saving kicked in for the rest of the, you know, world. So people are probably groggy on the times because that's what I've noticed in the past 2 years of doing this stuff is, that just seems to get thrown out of proportion here. But this is certainly a rather interesting scenario here. Player count-wise, one side does have a bit of a significant number advantage. I'm pretty sure Blue 4, actually, I don't know who has the number advantage here. Let me cancel and go back to lobby real quick. Yeah, Blue 4 have 60, Op 4 have 39, so this should be something. And I think that's really funny, because Op 4, I think, is supposed to surround Blue 4 here, but Blue 4 has the higher number advantage, so... Ay. But there's going to be Jets in this one. Both sides have APCs. I'm not sure about IFEs, but we might see some plain combat PvP. Blue 4 have a little bit of a bigger AO rather than Op 4, who have a carrier group in the AO, but still, this should be something. It should certainly be something. But otherwise, this is OFCRA today. Normally, we have anywhere from 100 to 180 people on a server. This one's on the lower end because of daylight savings, I think, kicking in for Europe, putting them back an hour forward and resyncing their time with the Western Hemisphere's time. So, oh boy, you should have made the prediction. Do you think the MiG will faceplant the carrier when landing? You know... I wouldn't be surprised. I tend to be really careful with my carrier battle group stuff because some planes are not carrier-based. Yes, you can take off any plane in Arma 3 on the catapult system that the USS Freedom has. But landing it and having enough space to bleed speed is a completely different story. Technically, you can land on anything on the aircraft carrier with any airframe. It's just how badly do you have to bleed the speed beforehand? So, oh, should be interesting. You have a trigger down there that'll set to 20 kilometers an hour. That is quite nice. Then you can set anything to be carrier based at that point. But even so. Here's the AO today, guys. Blue 4 is trying to hold out the AO right here. They currently have control of everything. Each zone, I believe, is worth a point. Op 4 spawn in all of these areas, and at the carrier group here, they're supposed to surround Blue 4 and push into the zone. Blue 4 have QRF to push in through here to help secure these zones. Every zone, I believe, is worth a point, but I am going to go ahead, tab out, and look at the... write-up for just a second to verify. Okay, I lied. Zones 1 and 2 are worth 1 point, 3 and 4 are worth 2 points, and Zone 5 is worth 5 points. So these two zones are worth 1 point, these two zones 2 points, and that is worth... Did I say 5 points or 3 points? It's worth 3 points. All right. So basically, if you lose Zone 1 and 2, you're still going to win the game. If you lose Zone 4, that gives 4 points, but you'll still win the game because you've got Zone 3 and 5. So basically, if Blue 4 loses Zones 1 through 4, they lose. If they at least keep Zone 5 and one of Zone 3 or Zone 2, then they should be fine. Beyond that, we'll just have to see how things go. Both sides also have trucks with man pads on the back. That's so adorable. Blue 4 have 113s, Op 4 have BTR, I believe, 80s. That might be a 60, though. Otherwise, they both have transport cars. And then, yeah, Blue 4 have F-18s, Op 4 have MiG-29s. Oh, that's gonna be great. How are you doing, Rocker? But yeah, the real significant difference here is Blue 4 have 60 players and Op 4 have about 40 right now. I'm going to tab out to get a final count on the TeamSpeak here in terms of player counts. We're up to about 104, which again is a lower end for OFCRA, but again, I think it's because of time change. But even so, this is, yeah, this is going to be interesting to say the least. If you want a safe bet, I'd probably bet Blue 4. If you want a risky bet, go for Op 4. But beyond that, it's going to be a rather interesting one. It could still be Op 4 have the superior jet fighter pilots and manage to shoot down Blue 4 and then provide good casts for everything, but I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting one, but regardless of what happens here, just a reminder that Pay for Pain is in about 3.5 hours. I will be finalizing the file submission to send a patch. I've already gotten a few reservations for that, so that's on the bottom of the list, including someone put like 4 or 5 VIP teams on patch himself so he doesn't die. I found that to be hilarious. But we'll have to see how all that goes. I might have to give him like a spare truck to move all of those AI. Ah, man. Severe gambling addiction going on? Well, at least it's not with real money and I'm not perpetuating a disease. I hope you never go out and lose yourself on there, because that's how people, well, that's how horror stories happen, but c'est la vie to that. It's not gambling if you're winning. Very true. But otherwise, I mean, this AO is pretty self-explanatory. Blue 4 have to hold. Blue 4 are getting reinforcements. This could still work if Op 4 somehow sweeps in and stops Blue 4 from getting their QRF in. But it looks like they also have control of this airbase down here. So I'll be curious to see what spawns where. Oh, you got the rules here. They're not allowed to steal radio or clothing. And you can only use TFAR for in-game communications, follow your jobs, no AI units. It'll be mission-specific when they can steal vehicles. Running over an enemy intentionally with your vehicle is not allowed. Similarly, using an aerial vehicle to kill a player on the ground is strictly prohibited if it causes the vehicle to crash. That's funny as hell. The same goes for hoisted vehicles. Yeah, because someone rammed a cargo crate into a battle tower like a year or a year and a half ago, and it was hilarious. Planes are supposed to wait 5 minutes before taking off after the mission starts. Looks like they've forgotten to. There's F-22s in play? I thought those were F-18. A MiG versus an F-22. I wonder how that's gonna go down. Anyway. The rest of these are mission-specific rules. Lone Wolfing is anyone that's 200 meters plus away from their squad. However, if you're the only guy left in your squad, I think you're supposed to try your best to kind of get to another team, but that can get a little messy. You got all the uniform timings there, mission timers. So it's a 90-minute round, and that should be it. Looking at everything else. Oh, rest in peace, Migs. Did you hear what correctly? But my F-22 only got a Chinese balloon. True. I think the F-22 finally wants some meat, you know, instead of some some weather balloons and UFOs. I mean, it could also be true. We could be seeing AFRF bias. I mean, the T-14 literally has a trophy system that destroys any rockets or missiles that fire to it. I don't think we're seeing that reflected in the real world, but, you know, we could see some MiG-29 bias against an F-22. Totally, right? The MiG is going to pull some of its own trophy system BS. You're going to see a missile about to hit the MiG, and then the missile just disappears. Where did it go? Nobody knows. I'd play the X-File theme, but it's copyrighted, so instead I've got this just for you. Dun-dun-dun-dun. I just bashed my freaking elbow against my desk. Ow, that hurt. Okay. Anyway, now that I'm in pain, how is everyone doing today? Or the missile will go back to the F-22. You never know. Has anyone else noticed if you have a bank or credit cards that they've been sending emails like up the wazoo about like providing loans, or is that just me? Like I've heard if you look up like wanting to apply for a loan, but I haven't done that. So I've just been getting like all these emails and they're trying to pressure me to take out money because they know I'll pay it back because I have with all my credit cards. So I think they're just trying to make all the money they can because the world's going nuts right now. I don't know. That's just something random I saw as we wait for this round to begin. Yeah, they want you to get a higher credit limit too, and it's like, why? You know, if everyone's doing bank runs, wouldn't you want to have more money in the bank right now to protect yourself? Or are you really just trying to double down, hoping that the Fed will bail you out? That's crazy, man. Doesn't work like that? Yeah, Jack, I wish it worked like that here, because my god, the amount of trash email we get. They call it spam. I don't know, the only, I think in the foreseeable future, the only time I will get a loan is either when Bloodwing and I get a new house, or if farmland around here crashes in price and I can scoop something up for under $100,000. Because you used to be able to do that 10 years ago. And I'm hoping, especially around 2008, if they crash again like they did in 2008, I am going to scoop up some land. Holy crap, that's going to be great. With the intent on putting either a homestead or a farm, depending on the size. But let's go ahead and have a look at the round here. We just got transferred to the TFAR channel. So with all of that, let's go ahead and have a look at what everything is and where it is. So why is my... Oh, is this the vanilla interface? Yes, it is. Okay, that's... I'm a little used to it because of what I saw in IDC, but we've got American forces here. We got some SMAs, M16, some 320 systems, 240 Bravos, AT4s. They've got an AA Vic right here. All right, and that is it for the defense of that sector. Looking over at the rest of Blue 4, we also have a large chunk of Blue 4 over here. Same weaponry. There is a single squad machine gunner in every group. All right, cool. And then they've got multiple 113s to work with, another AA vehicle to go in, a command car, and multiple 113s, two 240s, and four M113s. I mean, the 113 is going to be superior to those 240s, so I think those are just auxiliary reserve pieces. Blue 4's air base is over here, so they have to bring the C-130 and land it to pick people up. I'm not sure if that's going to be a viable option, but they do have 3 pilots, and the 2 of these, oh my gosh, are F-22s. That is honestly adorable. All right. Looking over at OPFOR, we have on this side an AA defense vehicle. OPFOR are going to be AK-74s, GP-25s. We got some PSO scopes on some of the OPFOR members here. We got some PKPs in play. Some RPG-7s. I'm not seeing any single-shot disposable AT. Ah, there it is. So an RPG-26 and RPG-7s. Vehicle-wise, we see some Gazes and BTR-80s here. And I'm not seeing... Oh, no. So we do have... Okay, I thought that was an RSGH. That's not. That's just another RPG-26. The other OPFOR group over here is pretty much a copy-paste. Another AA vehicle, 2 more BTR-80s, more Gazes. You got everyone building up right there. I'm assuming we're going to see 2 MiGs over here on this airfield. And that appears to be correct. They do have air defense in the form of some Shilkas right here and some ZU-23s. That's pretty cute. But otherwise, you got your 2 MiGs right here. Interesting. I don't see any weaponry on them. It looks like they're being taught through arrows where they need to go. And apparently the radios were wrong, so they're getting those reset. So I guess when they come into this area, it lowers by 20 kilometers per hour, and then they use those to take off, and then that's triple R over there. Looks like it's refuel, and I can't tell if this is repair or rearm because they both have the same texture. I'm assuming that's repair, though. But if we go over and look at the blue 4 spawn, we'll be able to mirror match what they have. So, yeah, it's repair and refuel. They don't get rearmed, though. Interesting.
You never know what you will have to defuse.
They're talking about bringing defusal kits in their planes. All right, I'm sure that works out somehow. I don't see any blue 4 air defense. Oh wait, no, I do. All right, so we got some Sea Whizzes in play. It's basically AAA, but I'm pretty sure it's just for show. There's probably a script that stops it. But otherwise, blue 4 have to defend the 5 zones. Zones 1 and 2 are worth 1 point. Zones 3 and 4 are worth 2 points. Zone 5 is worth 3 points. So blue 4 can sacrifice all but zone 5 in either zone 3 or zone 4, and points-wise still win. Op 4 needs to take zones 1, 2, 3, and 4, or zones 2, 3, 4. Well, yeah, they need to at least hit those zones. So ground vehicle combat-wise, this is going to be a bit of a tough AO. Forces coming down from over on this side have all this open area they have to work with. It would make a really good Overwatch position. For another team to come in through this way. You've got this facility right here, which doesn't really have a lot of second story cover, but you can get into this barracks building and utilize these second story windows to have a pretty decent element of Overwatch. Another thing either Op 4 side can do is try to come up along the coast and flank around, which would really stretch blue 4 lines thin. All they really need for defense, mind you, is to have a central team on the hilltop and then some defense lines down on the ridges here and really consolidate what they can do. Based on the player counts, blue 4 does have the numbers to really stop any Op 4 push since it's about a 40 v 60 right now. But if blue 4 spreads themselves too thin, Op 4 could easily come in and defeat them in detail. I think Op 4, for their Overwatch, they really need to focus on pinning down any high positions blue 4 might be utilizing, especially right here. Some BTR 80s just suppressing this area with PKT fire should be fine. And any guaranteed hits they can get or against vehicles, that 12.7 should also be good. Another plan Op 4 could do right off the bat is bring this force in on the MSR, join it up with this group, and then try to push the blue 4 element here and wipe them out early, utilizing reconnaissance data from their MiG-29. Because yes, Op 4 is outgunned at the moment by a pretty heavy 20 players, but if Op 4 can set up and take out the QRF element of blue 4, or better yet, set up to engage any blue 4 that might try to board a C-130 aircrafts, they could potentially snipe a good chunk of blue 4's infantry and manpower out before committing to the main assault, and that would maximize their chances as well as let them loot a lot of blue 4 gear to give themselves a little bit of an advantage with more marksman scopes, more machine guns, maybe even steal a few of these vehicles for some extra fire support. Now, it's going to be Ilbanek commanding for Op 4, and blue 4 is going to be commanded by Flip for Flap. I lied, that's the pilot section. Does Op 4 even have a commander? I don't see a command element. So both of those groups are going to be operating independently, and I guess calling Cass or Cap when needed. Well, Cap you don't really call in for, but blue 4 does have a commanding unit, which is going to be moving the QRF in, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to coordinate with the group setting up the defensive line, but with both sides having a bit of a shaky communication system, I doubt we're going to see these two groups meet up, and instead they're going to operate as two different elements, which is going to further divide them from around 40 players to 20 players on each element, which is roughly 2 squads, 3 squads worth of guys. With the vehicle assets and dedicated BTR-80 crews, that is more around 2 squads. So Op 4 having 2 halves of a platoon versus blue 4 with about a platoon and a half. I would say a platoon defending and then half a platoon coming in. Without that higher level of coordination, I think Op 4 is going to flounder here. We'll see what the Jets do, but it's a bit of a tough one here. So mission will begin momentarily, and then the Jets have to wait 5 minutes on safe start. I'm going to tab out real quick just so I can get the final TeamSpeak number, because we always have some trickle in last second. We're up to 106, but yeah, this is the smallest OFCRA match I've seen in a while, but I think that's mainly due to the time change. So, Blue 4... There we go, tabbing back in, fixed my camera that was stuck. Oh, no, it's back being stuck. So, we've got a Humvee moving out, 3 113s, another group still back here. Probably going to bring the AA Vic and probably the 4th 113 M2. OFCRA already sending a vehicle back. That's probably going to be an ambush team, but the rest of them are going forward and they're leaving the BTRs. Whereas this group is bringing the BTRs down. Neither side doesn't... How do I put it? Neither side needs to bring all their BTRs. They can surely leave a few. I think a BTR would be good for setting up an ambush because that 12.7 can easily tear into a 113. Because without that, they don't have any heavy machine guns that can pierce the armor on Blue 4's Vix. The medium machine guns, the PKPs that OFCRA is carrying on the squad level can still penetrate into the Humvee with sustained fire, but the 113s, unless they hit them in the back where the hatch is, because for some reason Arma 3 codes that as a penetratable area by even small arms fire, they're not going to have a good position to really do anything with that. And you already see Blue 4 kind of barreling down the road here. 113s might take a different route, though. So Blue 4 right off the bat setting up a decent defensive position here. They're setting up on the zones themselves, and then a security element up on this hilltop. Right off the bat, that puts Blue 4 at a disadvantage because these zones are in really long spots away from this overwatch point. It could be really easy for OFCRA to just engage these one at a time piecemeal. Blue 4 could have set up a defensive zone right here on the outside of Sector 3, and then a defensive zone in Sector 4 itself with good overwatch on the harbor. Maybe even putting that a little north here, cutting off this zone just in front of Zone 2. That way the overwatch can easily cover both sides. So with Blue 4 that fanned out, I could see OFCRA getting a good opportunity of putting forces in. It looks like they're committing a majority of their forces to going south. And only one team heading up here for Overwatch, as it looks like Blue 4 is doing a wide distribution here. And it looks like we already see one of the F-22s is taken off. I think they missed the message of they were supposed to wait 5 minutes. Because they were unlocked and the players just took advantage. So right off the bat, too, I only see one F-22 in the air, and the other, the 130 is above, so, Yeah, they're going to be well out of my render distance. Though, if Blue 4 has enough manpower to move all the 113s down, I don't know why Blue 4 is still taking the 130.
No, son cajas, son cajas, son cajas, son cajas.
I see the 130 has supplies, and it just airdropped them. And the pilot... You had a parachute. Kermit's also somehow dead back here because the F-22 didn't take off. No, Popsy's dead. There's a skull icon. He's dead. So, remember when I made that joke in the beginning about Blue 4 potentially screwing up their air support and immediately just getting themselves murdered? Remember when I said that? Yeah. So the reason Blue 4 didn't get the parachute animation was because he wasn't over 100 meters from the ground. So in doing that, he didn't get the he didn't get the parachute animation. Now, that is something you can actually customize in the mission file with one of Arma 3's latest updates. You just need to put a line of code in one of your SQF folders, and that's something I've been liking to experiment with. So when I do ops in the future that are sci-fi based, when I want to have everyone spawn on a ship, I will heighten that number to the altitude of the ship, which will still be in a lower altitude, because if I want them to do like a Halo insertion with parachutes, then they, you know, need to jump higher than the number I provide, otherwise they won't go into the parachute animation. But, you know, that's something really cool to have. So yeah, Op4, you just got that go-ahead of locked vehicles can go, so Op4 is now taking off. There goes one. Awesome. All right, who's gonna win? One F-22 or two MiGs? This is the ultimate Top Gun experience. It's gonna be Depso fighting Herman and Ilbanek. So Ilbanek and Depso I both know quite well. You already have AA defense, though, working here. And I think they are trying to track that F-22. Money Man, thanks for the tier 1 sub, my man. I hope you enjoy the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. They're going to have to get out of this tree, because the tree's going to keep blocking the lock-ons here. But with the MiGs now marauding on the south, Kermit disconnects. He was the other pilot. I find that funny as hell that an F-22 died to the ground. Blue 4 have lost 66% of their manpower for the air to the ground. Or, no, technically to the ocean, but you get my point. So, you've got Op4 moving down here. I think they might have spotted that 113, but they weren't in a good position to deal with it. And you just have the MiG, the 22 marauding around right here. I hate the selection glitch. It's not letting me select them through there. Hold on. That's not good. Do they not have any missiles? Only 50 cal. You're telling me a MiG is gonna shoot an F-22 down with only a 50 cal? Oh my God. Oh, he stalled. What did he do? Wow, I haven't seen that maneuver before. Where'd he go? Oh, God. Look at that one. He just completely disorganized the two MiG pilots. They're still looking for him. Damn, Americans got some superior gear right there. All right, getting off the jet fight for a second, because that's going to be flooding our ears for a little bit. Come on, please, God, put it away. All right. So, they're still fighting. Blue 4 have pretty much set up their defensive line here. Still have their vehicles coming in. Hold up, we just had an AA lock. That got flared off, as the Jets appear to still be fighting. Blue 4, meanwhile, taking the long way around with their QRF, so that's going to give OFCRA a good opportunity to try to get in and do a strike first. They just got to be careful, because otherwise they'll be engaged on the rear. And now you got the F-22 trying to take the upper hand. I also love how they both have full radar, so they can fully track everything in the meantime. The MiG's doing its best to avoid. One MiG should be distracting while the other MiG should be going for the kill, but you also have ground defense down here. And it looks like they missed the guidance of the Igla.
Don't burn all the ammo.
Just hit the damn thing. I hope they know which one to shoot, right? Right? That's a friendly. Please, God, tell me you know which one the bad guy is. Please. Right? You know which one the bad guy is, right? You've literally all been... Please, God.
NASA, my fucking crewman is not being able to lock on. What's the button? Have the lock on for
T!
Okay, he's pressing T. It's not fucking working. Tab? Okay.
It's not.
Zed, get out. Zed, get out. Get out. Get out.
Okay, there you go.
Well, it's because you're trying to lock on to friendlies.
I can confirm it is not Tab, T, or R. They were 400 meters above us. They were not in. They were in range. Zeb, look at the settings, bro. Why? You sure this thing didn't work with Tab, R, and T? Okay.
I just find it funny that they're trying to kill each other with a freaking 50 cal right now. That's the craziest thing. Oh, the F-22 flew into the air defense zone and you actually saw fire come out. At this point, I think you're better off just trying to stall yourself and then work on infantry. Hold on, I want the AA crew. Where are they?
130. Mackenzie, get in. Mackenzie, get in. Try it. Try it. Try it. Second, make sure you don't hit load. Right above. Right above. Right above. No, wrong. Yes, get in. Fucking ace. Get out. Get out. Right,
Get in.
Mackenzie!
I
There you go. Interactions, get in. We're working on it, bro. I'm trying to figure out someone who learns how to lock on. It's not fucking working.
It's over there.
Friendly above. Try. Those are both friendlies. Both friendlies. Both friendlies. Both friendlies.
Yeah, what does right click do? Anything?
Right click just fucking zooms, bro.
Zooms, okay, okay, yeah, I just...
Is any? You should hear a noise.
No, I have no pressing.
Bro, what the fuck?
I think the fucking thing is
You have to hold it?
because it's one of those vehicle-mounted ones.
Hold it down.
Hold T?
I'm just trying to, like, line it up for a second, like...
Okay, command. It is not T, shift T, hold T, click T, R, tab, nothing. Nothing works.
You want to try and take the thing out, put it on the ground, see if that changes
We've
it?
everyone has tried. Everyone has tried.
But no, the blue
Nothing
4
works,
one worked.
man.
All right, so he's gone back to his spawn. He might be going for refuel.
All right.
So let's give him a warm welcome.
I think that's exactly what he's doing. All right. F-22 landing. Let's go. He's lined up with the runway. It's all highlighted on the ground. Can he make it? He's wobbling a little hard. Pulls on his air brake. And he does it. Okay. One MiG's going in for a landing, the other one's still marauding around. Okie dokie. Meanwhile, 113s are coming over the hill. They're going to go on an overwatch position on top of the AO here as the rest of OPFOR still neglectful to push in. Looks like they've taken sideways overwatch positions to try to recon everything out. And you got some distant fire going back and forth. This is giving Blue 4 more time to get their QRF in.
It's okay, we can engage, right?
We have a round that's been fired. And survey says, ooh, it's not even close. That rocket was closer. And that has resulted in a whopping 0 on the kill count. Good tries, though. GL's coming in again. Also not close. That one. Also not close. Yeah, right, Zealous? For all we know, he could be. With that wobbling left and right. It is very twitchy, yeah. Controls are sensitive. Now, will we see a cast strike with the plane we see in the distance? Probably not, because it only has a 50 cal, but hey, that would be pretty funny. Something just launched. One MiG is hit. That would be Ilbanek. Looks like his controls are still good. He might have to try to land for repair, though. So the Blue 4 AA is working fine. The Op 4 AA doesn't appear to be working too well. They use a script to land the MiGs on the aircraft carrier. As soon as they land, it lowers their speed to 20 kilometers an hour. Oh my god, he's got a periscope.
So.
That lets him peer over walls. Alright, Op 4 starting to push forces in. You've got two Gazes here deploying infantry. They're going to try to push into zone 1 here. This is what I was worried about with Blue 4. Look at all the dudes they have on Overwatch. And now look at all the dudes they have on defense. I think they have more dudes on the hilltop Overwatch than the actual position there. I just heard something explode in the distance. That is one of the MiGs. He might have lost control after getting hit with that AA piece. And thus had to go down because I heard that explosion, which is why I always check the planes, because sometimes your instruments or even your control of the very plane get broken and you're just kind of a dead man flying. So you have no choice but to eject. So both sides only have one jet still up in the air. Blue Force is going to be still refueling for a while. The MiG by Herman here is still flying around though. And Ilbanek has been promoted to infantry. All right, so this group dismounting. They're trying to rock the bridge here. And this group of Blue 4 staying outside of the zone for Overwatch is getting hit pretty hard here. Got that MiG flying overhead low. I think it's trying to do some close reconnaissance right now of enemy positions. AA missile goes out just as it's turning, but the MiG is able to wave it off. That's got to be frustrating for this gunner here. Though, ironically enough, Baku's been having a better time than the two Igla gunners, that's for damn sure. Already has one kill, he just doesn't realize it yet. Now you just got Blue 4 here making these massive trench lines to hold defensive, but we have another group of Agaz coming up. They're taking suppressing fire as they do this drive. It's gonna get them right into the area here. Got some GLs popping, but that was way too short. They're gonna dismount right here. This, though, is the kill zone. This needs to be heavily smoked before they advanced. And maybe they can catch Blue 4 off guard if they all charge in on that angle and encircle that element and take it out, and then they could potentially rush the bottom zones. Because Blue 4 is still up here. They're waiting for their full force to come in. At this point, they're just going to have to Thunder run down and assist with the zone defense, because otherwise OFCRA might be able to bypass the zones and sweep them out from under Blue 4's nose. I'll check on the two Iglas when we have the enemy bird in the air again, which looks like Depso is about to take off again. Oh God, Olaf. I think he just tripped on Slushy. Or Charlotte, excuse me. Got some smokes being put down. Some people trying to get through the kill zone now. More smokes being deployed as PC Principal has moved up. This is causing some Blue 4 to pull back into the zone. Righto, Money Man. Thanks for dropping by. Now you have OFCRA vaulting over the wall here, starting to breach the zone itself. Once they get more people in the physical zone than Blue 4, I think that zone will start being counted down. Still have a massive amount of forces on Overwatch, though. And we have a truck starting to come up to where Blue 4 is as well. Competent Stinger Tech versus inferior Igla Tech. I think at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Want to look over at this AO real quick. You got a 113 moving around right here, and you got an AA truck coming up to this hilltop where an entire Blue 4 platoon is at that rate. Otherwise, OPFOR starting to enter this zone. I think they do have the number advantage, but it's not counting down, so I guess they have to completely eliminate all Blue 4 in the sector before it can be taken out. So this is really nasty CQC here. Blue 4 are patching themselves up. With this line folding, OPFOR still taking suppressive fire from the hilltop, which are being counter-suppressed by an OPFOR position. PC Principal gets taken out by, I think, Drago. He is dead. Albert Q trying to come around, Sam flanking around. Curie gets blown away by a Blue 4 defender. Sam breaches in.
Oni są już w całym compoundzie.
Sam can hear him. Who's gonna throw the first grenade? Done. Oh! What was that? Again, I question why Sam didn't pop a grenade.
Sending
They're using the SAM system as a direct fire weapon on the hilltop. That was an AA launch, and they just did it again. Because they don't have any other use for it, so they're dumb firing the Eagle on the hilltop. That's not going to do a lot of damage, though. I fired these against infantry before. It's not really a lot of shot there. And they're yelling at each other. Can't beat the law. Thanks for the 5-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. That's too far down. You got to go a little higher.
Not too far. All right,
He just gave up. All right, so Blue 4 have repelled the first wave here. Second wave coming in with more numbers, but Blue 4's already spooked on this AO. But Blue 4 QRF starting to come along the northern side. It's okay, they're trying their best. Kajonovic is dead. More grenades going up, but ironically, they're coming close to Olaf.
Towards me.
And he's trying to ask them not to grenade him, so that was a bit of a miscall right there. You only have Charlotte and Seismo in this AO at this point. So OFCRA still coming up here. You've got... Is that an RPK? Yeah, so an RPK is trying to suppress up on this hilltop. Red 4 has officially captured Sector 1. Because now it looks like they did have the number advantage. So I don't know, but Blue 4 is going to pull back. And this is going to give OFCRA an in to come in this area. And they could just bypass all of Blue 4 on the northern side. Ooh, excuse me. Did we just hear another AA missile attempt to get launched right there? And it sounded like it detonated very prematurely. Another missile was just fired, and it went right over everyone's line there. BTRs have actually turned to left. They're focusing on 113s coming down over here. So they were attempting to charge in, but BTRs are stopping them. RPGs are getting launched, but they're detonating prematurely because they have a limited range before they just detonate in the air itself. So 1113 is completely bypassed around the coast, and that's going to come into reinforce. More gases are coming up to mount forces up. They might try rushing to the next zone because they still got Overwatch. They could essentially backcap everything before Blue 4 can make their defensive line. I'm going to be honest, if OFCRA can get their hands on Zone 5 and Zone 3 early on, that's going to make it incredibly difficult for Blue 4 to bounce back. If not, I mean, that's 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 3 points. That's the game, actually. If OFCRA goes down south and takes these two zones, OFCRA would technically win. And at that point, I've already shown in the past, we follow the technical definitions of victory when we call OFCRA. So we'll see if any OFCRA have the willpower to go south and try to hit those additional zones. I think the RPG is around 700 meters until it automatically detonates. We have another AA launch. And they fired that one. Honestly, they do. For the fact that they're dummy firing them with an iron sight, the fact that they're landing that close is pretty good. They tried to adjust it and it landed up closer. And I'm not talking about the bullets from the gunfire, that's the RPG firing. I got the BTR that's come down trying to fire. The shots are a little high. Now they're landing on target. Surprised they did not hit either of those two. Those rounds were landing very close. They got some OFCRA coming behind Blue 4 here, though. I'm hitting my damn tracer button and it's not coming up, so I'm just gonna give up on that. It's that BTR versus the 113. We also have some OPFOR coming along on the rear of these Blue 4 infantrymen. Blue 4 spotted them first and started engaging. Excuse me. You know, I don't know where the F-22 went. I don't see Depso on the server anymore, so... Oh my god. Oh, no way. They both... And then Herman's dead. Because he also died on the runway. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, that's great. Well, it appears that the environment has killed more pilots today. The only kill to a pilot assigned to a player was an AA gunner on Blue 4 shooting down a MiG, so that's pretty based. OPFOR also rushing down to the next sector. I don't know what the exact capture time is. I think that's on the document. Blue 4 realizing they're being pushed. They need to push into Zone 5 immediately to stop OPFOR from taking the next zone, because if OPFOR takes Zone 5 as well as Zone 3, it's game over. Meanwhile, looking back at this AO, Gravity's the winner today, yeah. Looks like they're gonna put an RPG in that 113, at least try to. Dang, Shay, normally you're a bit better than that. There you go. Some grenades going over. Callie flanking around trying to get Ivno, but Callie gets headshotted. It's a 4-minute capture zone time. Got it. So that gives Blue 4 a lot of time to actually run down, but they want to keep playing Overwatch instead. Is there a minimum amount of players that have to be in the zone for it to start capturing down, like 2 or 3? Cheeseburger. Okay, I thought I saw him ragdoll back, but no, he's okay. More smokes being popped. Oh, Callie, Bluck died here as well. Bluck died with Callie there. So I find it interesting that only a handful of OPFOR is pushing back a Blue 4 force like twice their size, half of their size, excuse me, in terms of context. Blue is playing defensively on Overwatch positions without actually going down and covering the zone, so it looks like you see a counterattack going down now, but is that gonna be enough? I'm gonna go over. There's Zone 3 being captured. Now that gas, if it just drives right into Sector 5, that's gonna start a 4-minute timer. So this turns Blue 4 into the attacking faction, because if Zone 5 falls, I will not be around to stream the bonus mission. I'm sorry to say, I gotta prep for Pay for Pain. I gotta finalize the file, but I think OPFOR might have just won. Like, actually. I'll wait till the PvP dies down, because we're seeing this OPFOR force as it now aggressively continues to push. They're down to 3 people aggressively pushing now. There's a massive Blue 4 line. I'll check back in a minute, though, but Blue 4 did not do what they needed to actually make a defensive line, and OPFOR was able to still win this. That's the crazy thing I'm finding here. Pop cheeseburger. Okay, you had... I'm not going to say anything. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. That was questionable. feels like there's blue 4 bias, but at the same time, 2 minutes remaining on that capture zone. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if that group remounts, goes to zone 4, and they just take all the zones at this rate. Because again, blue 4 has everyone on an Overwatch hill, but no one in the sector's actually defending them. So there's been a massive breakdown in communication. And you don't feel the urgency here. And then OFCRA, they've come up and secured that hilltop, which has pulled more infantry away. I mean, on paper, going in, blue 4 had every advantage. They're just continuing to plink up at these guys, so now you got blue 4 starting to come in. One person in the zone. Might have a few more trickle in last second. You got OFCRA in a gas that just took fire. And that, oh my gosh, there goes Gandalf. Well, apparently he couldn't pass that one. Bro, you are under threat, Adamek. Come on, you know better. Adamek. Okay, you know what? Never mind. Never mind. They almost killed each other right there because Adamek went into Spectrum's line of fire, but okay. And that's... I think that's GG. Honestly, I think that's it. I'm not sure if blue 4 can recapture zones. We'll see. They might have the ability to recapture zones, but... yeah. Game's not over till it's over. We're a little under halfway through the match. But... I feel like this has gotten severely fumbled because all blue 4 needed to do was have a defense line... have a defense line, and then have an Overwatch team. That's all they needed to do. And instead you have, look at the sheer amount of dudes on this hill. And then a little bit over here, but that's from a QRF team, and then there was nothing on the bottom left because Zone 1, instead of pulling back south, they went up to the hill. Like, I'm really confused here. Now you might see these guys run over on foot. Are you, please tell me you're shooting at the hill. Thank God, okay. I don't want to see OFCRA start wiping themselves here. Oh God. Something got blown up down here. That was a BTR. Not sure if that was AT or, well, it had to have been some sort of explosion. And over here you got that 113 cooking. I think someone in OPFOR double tapped it. Now you got this massive blue 4 group coming in. You got a second massive blue 4 group coming in. So between these three large groups and a lot of trickled forces around, I think at this point, blue 4 is going to reach a critical mass and at least holding zone 2. Maybe they'll push down to zone 4 and hold it as well, or we might see these three sneak in around, but if we are to believe what the point board is, I think OPFOR's already won, which, again, really shocked about. Because OPFOR went into this with 40 players, blue 4 went into it with 60, OPFOR went in with MiG-29s, blue 4 went in with F-22s. Blue 4 forgot about the 5-minute safe start. They had to wait on the planes and got their planes up instead of waiting for the 5 minutes. Blue 4 had the working AA, OPFOR did not. Like, how did OPFOR still win? Poor tactics and poor communication, that's how. And they just seem to be obsessed with holding this hilltop, thinking that they can be on this hill and cover all the objectives, but this proves to you that they can. You have to have actual forces down to set up blocking positions. And now you're having the single units that are trickling around fighting the OPFOR units that are trickled around, and OPFOR appears to be winning these ones. Well, again, I think in mind, when you look at this AO on paper, having these two zones worth 1 point, those two zones worth 2 points, and this zone worth 3 points implies that you need a defense line. You can use that central hill overwatch position, but you're constantly falling back to the south. So the fact that Blue 4 didn't play to what was logical, just, yeah, the fact that they lost the back zone is supposed to be where Blue 4's final fallback point was. Because that was the play. That's why the mission is literally called Surrounded. Because you're supposed to resist the brunt of a northern attack, and they just all decided to go up on the hill. I didn't see a supremacy score. I might have missed that one. But again, when the fighting dies down, I'll tab back out and I'll run the math again. But unless there's a supremacy bonus... Oh, Jeremiah got a great snipe on Atomic right there. That was dirty and I loved it. Oh, that nasty keyhole. Is supremacy, though, is that for having 8 people alive on your side or knocking down the entire team to 5 or less players? Because I think OPFOR is going to get knocked down to 5 or less with how this is going. 5 or less? So if that's worth 2 points, Blue 4 will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. OPFOR still has 3, 4, 5, 6. So OPFOR still wins. Inside of... Ah, so 5 people in the zone, which is that circle. That's a nice way to count it. And even then... What the hell is Wombat doing? Wombat! What? 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 I haven't even been writing these highlights down. I'm gonna have to go back and manually watch all this, because some of this is just hurting my damn brain. It was a trade. Yeah, it's got that going for it. NASA's remounting his team of 3. Oh, they got more people. I'm going to laugh if they slide into zone 4 and actually take it. And you got Combs here with a -1. Firing a PKP down. You got Barros over here returning fire. You got a small-scale fight down here. Spectrum's still alive. You know what? I know what this feels like. And out of everyone you're shooting at in the group, you're shooting at the friendly. That's brilliant. Ah, Kropo with the head stuck up glitch. He's lucky it didn't get taken off. Leziak, though, is down. He's only unconscious, though. Here comes Kropa. Leshy utilizing the tree for cover. That's forcing Kropa to push back. Charlotte with attack reload. You have a thermobaric round. Ah. I would have just taken the noob tube out at that point. 2 kills, not bad. All right, OPFOR starting to get countered on the back here. Both of these guys are unconscious, but bleeding out. I just heard something explode up here. I don't know if that was an AA direct fire launch or what. These guys deploying on the far side. They should be trying to hone in on zone 4 there. I have no idea what those explosions are. Still got Blue 4 alive up here. These triangles represent dead players. Ah, I see what they're doing. They're still using the... That's gonna hit the rock. Nope, went a little north. They're trying to hit into the smoke with it. But as I was saying before I saw that, They're getting that really on target. That's impressive. But again, even if it hits, unless it gets a direct hit, even if it lands at their feet, it's not going to do a lot of damage. I've done this with players before. But I think that just goes to the lack of communication. OFCRA have just kind of thrown everything to the wind and are now defaulting to small groups doing firefights with small Blue 4 groups. And that's just what we've kind of defaulted to. Oh, it's okay, Kermit. It happened to Depso, too. It was a Russian runway. It really took out those F-22s. Cheeseburger out here just bapping anyone that tries anything stupid. That's the second bap he's done. Now you got Ash coming in. These guys trickling into zone 4. Again, still no Blue 4 defenders. They have not learned their lesson. Looks like Jeremiah's the only survivor there. That was a 3v2 in OFCRA's favor, but they managed to get those 3 kills. We got OFCRA on the outskirts right here. Ash running into Oliver, and Ash goes down. Liru entering the zone, but he's got a friendly fire kill on him. That's interesting. And the rest of Blue 4's infantry are starting to enter the zone, and they're just overpowering what's in this AO, essentially. So I think they just got a direct hit with those AA missiles based off of where those explosions were. But again, that's not going to do anything to a 113. Great shot, mind you. Great aim. But it's not going to do anything because they're not meant to do that. Now, I'd be curious what a SAM or an Iglo would do against the armor of a 113. I feel like it would do more damage. Because as you can see, the 113 hasn't even gone to its... a damaged model of it with it being grayed and showing a bit bashed, but you can see where it hit twice. That one and that one. I feel like that should be enough to actually destroy it personally, but who knows? Now you got OFCRA in the zone and they're just going to camp it. NASA just utilizing superior tactics, and that's another 2 points to OFCRA. He's even laughing about it.
Yeah, one time capture, one time capture.
Because no one in Blue 4 is playing defense. They're just on Overwatch. They're not going to be able to pull that in Zone 2 because of the sheer amount of infantry around it.
Send in goat
Two people
team
inside. I'm gonna go for
now.
I trust you, games.
Finally read Imcon.
Winter Wolf, thanks for the 22-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Blue 4 is literally just staying on Overwatch, not actually defending. Here's the funny thing, though. I've heard the argument so many times by players of, oh, if we just take the Overwatch positions, we don't need to have anyone in the actual sectors to control them. We can just maybe have one on the first one, and then they can fall back up to the Overwatch and we can cover the rest because the Overwatch is right on top of the sectors. This is how that argument plays out every single time. Blue 4 command was Flip for Flap, and he's still alive, and he's up on that hill. But he was a commander coming in from the north, so I don't think he had comms with the guys on the south who actually built that initial defense line. So Blue 4 just defaulted to that, and it all fell apart. So you have Major Kana as the only OFCRA guy still in this AO. You got Ilbanek and Mackenzie. Ilbanek? Ah, yeah, he's the pilot that got shot down, and... he's the only one in the AO. Realistically, yes, OFCRA does not have control over those zones, but when you're talking about a PvP operation where you can't recapture sectors...
All WT is gone. And the last one standing.
That's it. Now, don't get me wrong, in the real world, having these types of Overwatch positions would be great until the enemy would use artillery or air support on you, and then you'd be screwed. So, the real world argument can just keep going back and forth at this point. Because in the real world, those F-22s would have annihilated those MiGs at the range of this map. As soon as they took off, the missiles would fire and hit the MiGs if they tried to take off. All right, that's how it works. Eagle only has a 14 ounces of explosives and not a shaped charge? Okay, yeah, no. So, especially if it's not shaped, then yeah, I can see the armor then tanking it. And you got these two that'll trickle in, those two that'll trickle in. The really interesting thing will be, we're about to see it. What's Blue 4 going to do since Op 4 have taken this zone? And now they're running back to mount up in their gas. Like, are you going to stay up here at this point? Because there's no reason for you to be up here anymore. You're just plinking at dudes out and about. Oh god, they got spotted as they're trying to leave. The Overwatch is angry with them. Here's the issue, their gas is like back here, right? So they got a lot of open area they're gonna have to cross. But it goes a little bit in the low ground for them, so they might be able to get away with it. Oh my god. Game is ended usually at the end of the round unless an entire team gets wiped, which I think has happened once in OFCRA history, where a game ended like 30 minutes early because one side got just entirely wiped. That was a few months ago, if I recall correctly. Honestly, I think the Iglas weren't locking because they were too close to the attached truck. And because they were detecting the sides of the benches, because I remember running into that issue when I was making them into custom compositions. They were just detecting the hitbox of the truck they were attached to and thus unable to lock properly. And if it wasn't that, then I don't know. Blue 4 sending a few forces down from the hill for it. Fudgehead just got found in there and killed by Monax, who has a 240 Bravo, so I'm not surprised that he died there. Now you're going to have this 5-man team trickle, and you still have the AA missiles being shot up here, which I find hilarious. You know, there's a lot of Blue 4 infantry here, but 5 guys on the right and a good chunk coming in on the left. A few more trickling in. This round's going to be over in like 20 minutes as soon as Op 4 commits all their forces into the center. But my question is going to be, if Op 4 gets entirely wiped, is that an automatic Blue 4 victory? Hey, Slash. Or, sorry, Charlotte. How are you? So what is... Oh, they're just driving the AA truck out. Okay.
Get it?
So they're sneaking this under the Overwatch position's nose. As I say that, they get spotted. Looks like these two Op 4 that were up here, that was Ilmanek and someone else. They charged up here with a wounded 113 and were annihilated. That's to be expected. Long-range AT firing down. The only person that didn't get in was, of course, it was Zixme. Here's Cheeseburger. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There goes Gazag. Demovar's still cooking in the vehicle. He's dead. NASA gets dropped. Only on uncom, but he's getting double tapped. And now it's just only Bob Winchester. Look at that. Good line of people have left the Overwatch position, but there's still a bunch of dudes just up here vibing. I don't get it. And then you got Lolo back here who's just stayed in this vehicle for I don't know what reason. You got Bob doing his best to hold. He's got 7 players behind him. And Bob gets shot through the bush and taken out. So Zixme is ironically the only one still alive. Cheeseburger's on 3 kills and a vehicle kill because Demovar died in the Vic. NASA wakes back up. And he is going to run his ass away. Op4's last hope in taking the last sector is in this team. For the record, Op4's already won. Yeah, Slash, the tactics of this scenario are certainly something. One of the naked dudes goes down as Op4 charged through the hill. NASA, I think, found an eliminated Cheeseburger as Blue4 have pushed trickling forces over. You have another dead Op4 member as the final group desperately tries to push. But I think Blue4 have way too many units in the zone for it to matter. You could see NASA and Zixme maybe do some rear attacking, but nah, this is over. And you got this guy over here, not sure what he's pulling. Yes, Slushy. I can agree to that statement. Can't say it out loud because YouTube won't like it, but yeah. A direct Ukrainian war quote with that one.
No creo que haga falta.
So Zixme's run up to NASA's position. I have no idea what Metal's doing back here. He seems very lost. Op4 lose another 2. Blue4 are gonna win this battle, but they've already lost the war. They just don't know it yet. How did I select Cheeseburger? I want Zixme to come in with that PK. He put a PK. He put a PSO scope on his PKP. Blue4 counterattacking. Pay for Pain is in 2 hours, 13 minutes. Op4 have, I want to say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people still up. He went to bed, apparently, and 1 or 2 of these people over here are unconscious. So they're breaking apart to cover more ground. I think they're really worried about the Overwatch hill potentially shooting at them beforehand. Zixme might be checking the gear on that, but as Blue4 counterattacks, all eyes are turned. That can at least give an opportunity for Zixme and NASA to get some kills. Zixme checking the vehicle, that's completely wiped. I gotta give credit to Galatian for this position, though. This is a nice little hidey hole I always like to use personally. Lolo's losing connection. Finally, his internet's cut out. And Blue4 are just holding what they can over here. I was about to say, I did not see a mag in his gun. I was about to go, Did you just... Are you trying to grenade the other friendly position? Oh, they're both dead. Wow. You got this poor dude over here. Metal was able to get a kill. He's laying low. So there's only 5 dudes for OFCRA left alive here. Get out of his way! Door's stuck! Sanchez, no! Sanchez just body blocked his teammate! Oh my god! I can't believe it! Door's stuck! And Blue 4 just tapped him too! Oh my god! How's Metal doing? Metal's dead. Zixme just got murdered. NASA was able to find Glacian and take him out. Zixme pushed up here and immediately got annihilated. He got 2 kills total, but I think NASA's the only guy still left at this point. He's taking the 240. Lolo, yep, I thought he was losing connection, but again, you said he's gone, so it's just 1 player left. Ah. He's trying to enhance movement down. There he goes. You can see he's got blood all over him.
Zix.
Trying to call for Zix. Zix is dead. AFK, last survivor, and unconscious. So, say it with me now. NASA needs to channel his say the 2 words, guys. I want to see him in chat. Say the 2 words. You know the ones. Ready? Inner Audrey Hotto. Veneer Falcon. And now NASA's totally gonna win. Right? Inner Audrey Hotto. Also, I'm debating, guys, for 20 bucks a shot, should I include a drinking option for pay for pain? Righto, Risky. Enjoy your lurk. Clutch or kick. I'm tempted to poke NASA with a clutch or kick. I'd get in trouble for that. That'd be pretty funny. It's not a caster curse. See, look at this. Look at that. Look at that. He can't. Oh my god, he got one. Grenade goes over. Oh, I would have laughed my ass off if he killed himself with his own grenade. Speaking of grenades. Oh, he tanked it. He's not going to tank. Oh, it rolled out. Oh, the lucky Inner Audrey Hotto. Never mind. That's GG. Oh my god, let me go poke him. All right. Well, guys, we'll be back in about 2 hours for Pay for Pain. I got to go finalize the file. If you want... Actually, I don't think I have it on the document there, but OFCRA technically won this because they got 4 of the zones because Blue 4 didn't play defense for some silly reason. So I want to see if they'll put the screen down with the points just so I can confirm it, but if they don't confirm it within the next 2 minutes, I'm just going to call it because that's what it is. But points-wise, Blue 4 will get 1 point for taking Zone 2 and 2 points for supremacy of having 5 people in the purple zone. OFCRA will gain 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points and win. Yeah, I know. Adrio's been unconscious for over 5 minutes, so he's not waking back up. So it's GG. Unless Lolo wakes up and all of a sudden becomes activated. There it is. Oh, it was 4 points for Supremacy, not 2. But even then, OFCRA still won. You still won. With 35 players remaining. Alright guys, we'll be back in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. See you in 2 hours for Pay for Pain. Otherwise, cheers and have a good one.